Imagine standing in front of football history. Not a museum, not a FIFA exhibition, but every official FIFA World Cup ball since 1970, displayed together inside a collection worth more than $100,000. These aren't just footballs. Each one witnessed legendary goals, historic victories, heartbreaking defeats, and moments that changed football forever. Today, we're taking a journey through every World Cup ball, from the iconic Telstar to the futuristic smart balls used today. By the end of this video, you'll understand why every generation of football fans has a favorite. Most fans remember the goals. Some remember the players, but very few remember the ball. Yet the ball influences everything. Its weight, its grip, its flight through the air, its speed. Every improvement in football technology has changed the way the game is played. That's why every FIFA World Cup introduces a brand new official match ball. Each tournament becomes a laboratory for innovation. Before 1970, World Cup balls looked very different. Most were handmade leather balls. They absorbed water during rainy matches. As the leather became wet, the ball became heavier, harder, and much more difficult to control. Players often joked that heading the ball felt like hitting a brick. Football needed a revolution, and that revolution arrived in Mexico. Mexico 1970 introduced one of the most famous footballs ever created, the Adidas Telstar. Its name came from the communications satellite, Telstar, but its real innovation was visual. For the first time, a football featured black pentagons and white hexagons. Today, that pattern seems ordinary. Back then, it was revolutionary. Millions of people were watching football on black and white televisions. The contrasting colors made the ball easier to follow on screen. Suddenly, football became more enjoyable for television audiences around the world. The Telstar wasn't just a football. It became a global icon. Even today, when children draw a football, they usually draw the Telstar pattern. That's its legacy.
4 years later, West Germany hosted the World Cup. Instead of creating a completely new design, Adidas refined perfection. The Telstar Durlast kept the classic black and white appearance, but introduced stronger waterproof coatings, making it more durable, more reliable, and better suited for modern football. Sometimes, evolution is more important than revolution. After the success of the Telstar, Adidas faced a difficult challenge. How do you improve a football that had already become iconic? The answer came in Argentina 1978. Introducing the Adidas Tango. Instead of the familiar black pentagons, the Tango featured 20 identical triads that created the illusion of 12 perfect circles. It was elegant, modern, and unlike anything football had seen before. The design became so successful that it would inspire official match balls for nearly 2 decades. Very few sports designs have remained influential for that long. The Tango wasn't revolutionary because of new technology. It was revolutionary because of its identity. For the first time, football had a design language. The famous Tango pattern became instantly recognizable around the world. Professional leagues, continental tournaments, and amateur competitions all began creating their own versions. For almost 20 years, if you imagined a football, you probably imagined a Tango. It became football's signature look. Spain hosted the 1982 FIFA World Cup. Rather than abandoning the successful Tango design, Adidas improved it. The new Tango España featured rubberized seams that reduced water absorption. That meant the ball stayed lighter during rainy matches. Players could pass more accurately,
strike harder, and control the ball more consistently. It was another important step toward the modern football we know today. 16 years after introducing the legendary Telstar, Mexico welcomed the World Cup once again. But this time, the football world witnessed another revolution. The Adidas Azteca became the first official World Cup model made entirely from synthetic materials. Gone was traditional leather. In its place came advanced synthetic construction that resisted water, improved durability, and delivered a more predictable flight. Players immediately noticed the difference. The future had officially arrived. Of course, the Azteca became famous for another reason. It was the ball used during one of football's greatest matches, Argentina versus England. Diego Maradona scored 2 goals that would become immortal. The first, the hand of God. The second, the goal of the century. 2 completely different moments. One controversial, one magical. Both created with the same football. That alone secured the Azteca's place in football history forever. Whenever fans see this ball, they don't just remember a tournament. They remember Maradona. By the end of the 1980s, football had changed forever. Leather was disappearing. Technology was accelerating. And every new World Cup ball was becoming smarter, lighter, and faster than the last. The next generation would introduce some of the most beautiful and most technologically advanced balls ever created. The 1990s marked the beginning of a new era. Football was becoming faster. Players were stronger. Stadiums were larger. Television broadcasts reached billions of viewers. To keep up, FIFA and Adidas pushed football technology further than ever before. The result was a series of match balls that blended science, engineering, and design like never before. For the first time, a World Cup ball used an internal layer of black polyurethane foam. This made the ball softer to touch, more responsive, and much more waterproof than previous designs. It looked traditional, but inside, it was completely modern. When the World Cup arrived in the United States in 1994, Adidas looked to the future. The new ball was called Questra. Its name came from the word quest, symbolizing humanity's pursuit of exploration and innovation. Inspired by space travel, rockets, and advanced technology, Questra featured a lighter, softer outer layer with high-energy foam underneath. The result? More speed, more power, more precision. Goalkeepers loved its grip. Strikers loved its pace. And France 1998 brought another historic milestone. The Adidas Tricolore became the first World Cup ball to feature multiple colors. Until then, official match balls had been almost entirely black and white. The blue, red, and white graphics celebrated the French flag while giving the tournament a fresh visual identity. Technology also improved, with a new synthetic foam layer that delivered better control and more consistent flight. For many fans, this was the moment World Cup balls became works of art. Then came one of the boldest designs in football history, the Fevernova. Gone was the classic tango pattern that had dominated World Cups for nearly 20 years. Instead, Adidas introduced vibrant gold, green, and red graphics inspired by Asian culture. The design divided opinions. Some loved it, others hated it, but no one ignored it. Its advanced synthetic construction improved accuracy and consistency, making it one of the most recognizable balls ever produced. The Fevernova announced that football had entered the 21st century. By 2002, World Cup balls had evolved far beyond stitched leather. Every panel, every layer, every gram was now designed using advanced engineering. The next revolution would go even further. Fewer panels,
perfect symmetry, computer-designed aerodynamics, and one ball would become the most controversial football ever made. In 2006, Germany introduced one of the biggest engineering breakthroughs in football history, the Adidas Teamgeist. For decades, footballs had been stitched together using 32 separate panels. Teamgeist changed everything. It used just 14 thermally bonded panels, creating an almost perfectly smooth surface. The benefits were immediate. More accurate passes, more predictable flight, greater consistency in every match. It wasn't just a new World Cup ball. It redefined how footballs would be built for years to come. Then came the ball that players simply couldn't stop talking about, the Jabulani. Created for the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, its name means to celebrate. Its 8 thermally bonded panels gave it an incredibly smooth surface. Engineers believed it would fly more consistently, but many players experienced the opposite. Goalkeepers complained that it swerved unpredictably. Free kicks dipped without warning. Long-range shots became almost impossible to judge. Some called it brilliant. Others called it impossible. Even today, the Jabulani remains the most controversial World Cup ball ever made. For Russia 2018, Adidas honored its own history. The Telstar 18 paid tribute to the legendary 1970 original, while introducing a modern, digital-inspired design. Hidden inside the ball was an NFC chip, allowing fans to interact with it using smartphones. 4 years later, Qatar unveiled Rihla, meaning the journey. Built for the fastest World Cup ever played, Rihla featured advanced aerodynamics and a textured surface that delivered incredible speed and accuracy. It represented decades of continuous innovation. Today's football is smarter than ever. Modern match balls contain sensors capable of transmitting data hundreds of times every second. Combined with artificial intelligence and semi-automated offside technology, these innovations help referees make faster and more accurate decisions. What began as a hand-stitched leather ball has evolved into one of the most advanced pieces of equipment in world sport. And the journey isn't over. The next World Cup ball will almost certainly be even smarter. Looking at every FIFA World Cup ball together is like flipping through football's greatest history book. Each one represents a different generation, a different tournament, different heroes, different memories. From Pele's era to Maradona, Zidane, Ronaldo, Messi, every legend left their mark on one of these footballs. Together, they tell the story of how the beautiful game evolved over more than 50 years. And that's why this incredible collection is worth far more than money. Its true value lies in the history it preserves. So, which FIFA World Cup ball is your favorite? The timeless Telstar? The legendary Azteca? The controversial Jabulani? Or the beautifully balanced Brazuca? Tell us your choice in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through football history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more stories from the world's greatest game. Until next time, keep the passion alive. Because football is more than a sport. It's history.